And now we move on to Polania. We are finished with Saxony, and we're going to go around the board to Polania, starting with Priority 1 Industrial. Um, for this particular game, what I'm going to do is less explaining my move actions, and just talk in general about what I think regarding Polania. And we are going up against Saxony and Rusviet. Okay, let's remember, faction ability for Polania, 2 options per combat card, which can be very beneficial, but that can also be something where someone who's playing as Polania goes to too many encounters because they think, well, that's my faction ability, so I need to maximize the number of times I get to an encounter. The problem is that doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting more bottom row actions. So what I would encourage someone to do playing as Polania is to think at the start of the game, okay, I'm going to go for at least 2, maybe 3 encounters, and then from that point, see if the encounters are really moving me forward in the game. If they are helping me to get stars, then maybe I go pick up 1 or 2 more. If they're not helping me get stars, and certainly if they're not helping me to get bottom row actions easier, then I'm going to go a different route. What I like about Polania is that you start on a farm, and again, enlistment to me is one of the most important, if not the most important thing to be getting for any of the factions for that matter. Getting that enlistment star is critical, I think, for the advancement of your game. So this next turn we are going to move a worker from the village there, and we're going to get our first encounter, getting to choose 2 encounter options. Okay. So this is pretty solid. I like the idea of paying 2 coins to get 4 food. Right now, I don't really want to go down to 0 popularity. Getting 2 combat cards may be beneficial at this stage in the game. However, if I do the enlistment of cards for enlistments, that will start to take care of itself by the mid-game having quite a good balance of combat cards. So I think what I'll do is pay 2 coins to get 4 food, and I'll gain 2 coins into popularity, which essentially what that means, if you think of the overall between the 2 selections, it's basically gaining and losing no coins and getting 1 popularity and 4 food. That's pretty solid. Okay. First enlistment here. Let's do the cards and increase power. Yeah, I think power. Let's go for that one. But I do need to be careful, noticing that I only have 2 coins. If we get to a certain point in the game where I have 0 coins, then I'm not going to be able to trade. I'm not going to be able to bolster if I want to do that. And if I have a certain number of workers, then I also won't be able to produce. So I need to pay very close attention. I'm going to get 2 coins here in a second with this deployment. Getting 2 coins there, so that gets me up to 4. But really in any game, if you notice that you are with only 2, 3, 4 coins, be very careful. Okay. Now let's see what I think. It looks to me like they are really gearing up to do some upgrades here and here. They're also going to be doing some deployments. Let's increase our chances of some power through that enlistment. Okay. All right, next turn, we're going to go to another encounter and see if I can get some more benefit that way. Move this worker there. Okay. Excellent. Good. So again, gain 2 coins in a popularity, pay 2 coins to gain 4 metal. So this is another one I'm essentially not losing or gaining coins. I'm getting a popularity and 4 of a very important resource. So this is an example where I'm getting some really good options, I think, from my encounters. As Polania, that could be a great help. Helping me to get enlistments and deploying mechs. So this is 3 enlistments down, 1 more to go. Alright, so let's move, pick up yet another encounter. Move this worker to that village. We're going to get the worker star pretty soon. Let's not forget to grab the metal there, go to this encounter. Okay. I really don't like at this stage, even though it's 5 resources, something that I could think is maybe it is beneficial to get the middle and the bottom one. Pay 2 coins, and it would essentially be pay 2 coins and pay 1 popularity to get 2 power and 5 resources. That's an interesting idea. You know what, let's be bold, and we're going to go with that. Okay, let's grab 3 wood, and let's grab 2 oil. Okay. Monument goes there. Okay, let's produce and deploy. Right now I'm thinking actually Riverwalk. Camaraderie is certainly beneficial for Polania because in a combat, when you force a worker of your opponents to retreat, you wouldn't lose the popularity for it. I don't anticipate initiating a combat for a while. So now I have the worker star. Let's get the enlistment star. Okay, so now I have 2. Next thing we're going to do is bolster and upgrade. Upgrade move and decrease our next bolster. Okay, so I have all my enlistments. Again, that's really easy, or easier, I'll say, being that Polania starts here with this farm. Sometimes I will go for the 4 structures because a worker starts there, and especially if you put a mine, or I'm sorry, the mill, if you put the mill on this forest, you can rack up a considerable amount of wood for building structures. That can help. And also, if you get the 4 structures, there's another star for you. Let's do this. Let's move the character there. Okay. Next time that we produce, we're going to produce on that mountain and get the mech star. I know I want to go on a, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put 1 worker there and the other 4 workers there and produce 4 oil and 3 metal. Something else to consider with Polania is that Submerge is a very powerful weapon to use moving the character and the mechs, because you can move from lake to lake. So seaworthy for Nordic, you're allowed to move onto lakes and then off lakes, of course, but you can't go from lake to lake with seaworthy with Nordic. However, you can do that with Polania, and if you look on the left side, Submerge, moving to and from lakes to other lakes, that can be a very powerful thing to do. Right, final mech, and let's at least help the chances of protecting that oil by putting our last mech there. So we have 3 stars. Something I might want to consider is I could get the power star in a few turns. Okay. Right. Why not? I think there's every reason to consider going for another encounter just to see what I can pick up, and that'll be satisfied after this battle. Okay. Now doing this makes getting the power star less likely. That brings me down to 11 power. Okay. All right. I really like the idea of getting. Oh, that's very interesting. I could actually get the structure star on this turn if I wanted to. Unfortunately, that's. Okay. Let's do that. Okay, put the armory there, pay 2 popularity, gain 3, so we are going to get the structure star. Let's make sure I'm clear neighbor tunnels, perfect, it's going to go there. Alright, so now we're at 5 stars. In a second, we're going to end this video and get us to the end game. But to begin, you can see where we have our 5 stars, 4 mechs, 4 structures, 4 enlistments, 8 workers, and a combat.